Picture this: a bustling South American market brimming with vibrant colors, a symphony of unfamiliar sounds, and the intoxicating aroma of exotic foods. It was there, amidst the kaleidoscope of life, that I first stumbled upon a humble grain, quinoa. This tiny yet mighty grain has been a staple in South American cuisine for thousands of years, cherished by the Inca civilization as the mother grain. The quinoa I discovered that day was not just a grain, but a connection to a rich and diverse culinary heritage. Quinoa, this versatile grain, is a powerhouse of nutrition, packed with protein, fiber, and a plethora of essential minerals. It's no wonder that it's been hailed as a superfood by nutritionists worldwide. And it wasn't just the health benefits that drew me in. It was the taste, the texture, the way it could transform a simple meal into an exotic feast. That was the day I fell in love with quinoa, a simple grain that was about to introduce me to a world of delicious possibilities. Scene script. Before we embark on our culinary adventure, gather these ingredients. First up, we have quinoa. This super grain is not only packed with protein, but also brings a delightful, slightly nutty flavor to our Buddha bowl. Then, we'll need an array of fresh, vibrant vegetables, sweet bell peppers, crunchy cucumbers, and ripe avocados, each one contributing its unique flavor and texture to the bowl while providing a rainbow of nutrients. For proteins, we're going with edamame and chickpeas, both rich in fiber and protein. They'll give our bowl a satisfying, hearty feel. To add some zing, we've got fresh lime, and for a touch of sweetness, a drizzle of pure maple syrup. Now the star of our dressing, tahini. This sesame paste might sound unusual, but trust me, its creamy texture and nutty flavor will bring our bowl together like nothing else. With our ingredients ready, we can start crafting our Quinoa Buddha Bowl. Quinoa is the star of our Buddha Bowl, so let's treat it right. Now don't let the simplicity of this grain-like seed fool you. It's a powerhouse of nutrients and deserves a little pampering. The first step is rinsing our quinoa. You might ask, why rinse quinoa? Well, quinoa has a natural coating called saponin. This can give it a bitter taste if not rinsed off. So, let's give it a good rinse under cold water until the water runs clear. Next, we'll cook our quinoa. And here's a tip. For a more flavorful quinoa, consider using a broth instead of water. For every cup of quinoa, you'll need 2 cups of liquid. Bring it to a boil in a saucepan, then reduce the heat to low, cover, and let it simmer. Now patience is key here. Let it simmer for about 15 minutes or until the liquid is absorbed and the quinoa is tender. You'll know it's ready when the seeds have sprouted their little white curly tails. Once it's cooked, remove it from the heat and let it sit covered for another 5 minutes. This will help to fluff up the quinoa, giving it a light and airy texture. Then, give it a gentle fluff with a fork and voila! And just like that, we have fluffy and nutritious quinoa ready for our Buddha bowl. Now comes the fun part, assembling our Quinoa Buddha Bowl. This is where our creativity gets to shine, and we start layering flavors and textures to create a dish that's as pleasing to the eye as it is to the palate. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started. First off, we start with our base, the quinoa. This humble grain not only adds a nutty flavor, but also brings a delightful crunch to our Buddha bowl. Spoon a generous serving into the bottom of the bowl. The quinoa should cover about 1/3 of the bowl, enough to be a substantial base, but not so much that it overwhelms the other ingredients. Next, we add the vegetables. A rainbow of colors and textures, from crisp, fresh lettuce and cucumbers to sweet, roasted bell peppers and earthy, steamed beets. Each vegetable adds its unique flavor profile, and together, they create a symphony of taste that's hard to resist. Arrange them in sections over the quinoa for a visually appealing presentation. Then, it's time for the protein. Whether you opt for grilled chicken, tofu, or chickpeas, the protein adds a hearty element to our Buddha bowl. Place your chosen protein in the center of the bowl, forming a beautiful and delicious centerpiece. Now, let's sprinkle on some extras for added flavor and crunch. Think sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, or even some crumbled feta cheese. These little touches can make a huge difference in the overall taste and texture of the bowl. Remember, the key to a successful Buddha bowl is balance. Balance of flavors, textures, and colors. Don't be afraid to play around with different ingredients until you find the perfect combination that tickles your taste buds. And lastly, don't forget the most important ingredient, love. Cooking is an act of love, and when you put your heart into it, every dish becomes a masterpiece. Our Quinoa Buddha Bowl is coming together beautifully, don't you think? Opening. A Buddha Bowl isn't complete without a tantalizing dressing. Imagine the symphony of flavors that a well-crafted dressing can bring to your Buddha bowl. The richness, the tang, the sweetness, and the spice. It's like the conductor of a grand orchestra, bringing all the elements together in a harmonious melody. Let's start with the base, a good quality olive oil. Not only does it lend a rich, velvety texture to our dressing, but it also carries the flavors of the other ingredients, enhancing their individual characteristics. Next, we have the tang. For this, we're going to squeeze in the juice of a fresh lemon. This citrusy punch will cut through the richness of our olive oil, adding a refreshing note to our dressing. Now, onto the sweet element. A drizzle of honey will do the trick. Honey adds a subtle sweetness that balances out the tang of the lemon juice. It's a dance of flavors that's as old as time. Finally, let's give our dressing some heat. A pinch of chili flakes or a dash of your favorite hot sauce will provide that gentle kick that makes every bite an adventure. Give it a good whisk until it all comes together. You're looking for a beautiful emulsion that's thick, glossy, and full of flavor. Remember, a great dressing is all about balance. Too much of one element can overpower the others. So adjust as you go, tasting along the way. Closing. With our dressing ready, it's time to bring it all together. We're at the final stage. It's time to dress our Quinoa Buddha Bowl. This is where the magic really begins to unfold. The dressing is the enchanting element that binds all our vibrant ingredients together, the final note that brings harmony to our dish. Imagine being a conductor, orchestrating a symphony of flavors. The quinoa is your steady rhythm section, while the vegetables play the melody. And the dressing? It's the conductor's baton, guiding and enhancing the performance of each ingredient, tying them together in a perfect concerto of taste. The dressing may seem like a small thing, but it has the power to transform our Buddha bowl from good to great. It's the difference between a dish and a delight. It's like the icing on a cake or the cherry on top. A little drizzle can make all the difference. Making the dressing is an art in itself. It's a balance of flavors: sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. Each ingredient in the dressing has its role to play. The tang of the vinegar, the sweetness of the honey, the saltiness of the soy sauce, and the heat from the chili flakes. All these come together to create a flavor explosion that will make your taste buds dance. So, let's dress our bowl. Pour the dressing over the top, letting it cascade down, seeping into every nook and cranny. Watch as it mingles with the quinoa, the vegetables, the tofu, each ingredient soaking up the dressing, becoming a part of the flavor symphony we've orchestrated. But we're not done yet. The final touch? A sprinkle of sesame seeds for that extra crunch, and perhaps a few sprigs of fresh cilantro for a burst of freshness. These small additions might not seem like much, but they add texture and depth, making every bite a surprise. And there you have it, a vibrant and nutritious Quinoa Buddha Bowl, ready to be savored. The culmination of a journey, a labor of love, a feast for the senses. So go ahead, take a bite. Let the flavors wash over you. This is more than just a meal. It's an experience. A delicious, wholesome experience you've created with your own two hands. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the taste test. As we dive into this vibrant Quinoa Buddha Bowl, we're first greeted with the comforting and familiar texture of perfectly cooked quinoa. It serves as a homely base, paving the way for a symphony of flavors. The fresh crunch of the veggies mingles with the creaminess of the avocado, creating a delightful contrast. The roasted chickpeas offer a smoky note that dances with the tang of the zesty dressing. Each ingredient contributes its unique personality, somehow managing to shine individually while also blending harmoniously with the others. The taste is a beautiful balance of savory, sweet, and tangy, leaving the palate both satisfied and eager for the next bite. This Quinoa Buddha Bowl is a testament to the fact that nutritious food can indeed be a feast for the senses. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more nutritious and tasty recipes. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our culinary adventures. Until next time, happy cooking!